Sure. Hello friends, this is Coldrun. Welcome back to a playthrough of Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker, where we're going to be doing the last part of the Hildibrand quests today. Delian of Duplicity and Duplication. And I've prepped for today by getting my causality tomestones up to 1500, because I'm pretty sure I need those to be that high. Anyway. Delian is ready to embark... That is some image. Ready to embark on his latest investigation. Ah, Kakushu, you're just in time to assist with my latest fact-finding expedition. Our recent foray into Charlian revealed that Pupu's friend was in the company of a Hannish alchemist, yes? As such, I was inspired to do some preliminary legwork here in Thavnair. I contacted my usual sources for local sightings of alien phenomena, but alas, they had none to share. I have thus switched tactics and decided to track down this alchemist fellow instead. Surely someone will have heard the tale of an apothecary bold enough to set up shop in a Garlean battlefield. The inspector and the others have been pursuing a similar line of inquiry. And we already see a sort of growing respect for Hildibrand, or maybe just Brandihild, a little bit of both. Yet they have found no leads here in the city or at the Great Work. I believe they have moved their investigation to Yedlamad, so I suggest we hurry over and join them. I cannot have this little blue man muddying the waters while we're still... He's right here. Well, I guess this is just a wind-up version. Muddying the waters when we're so close to grasping his master plan. And it's not a blue man, but they haven't seen the cutscene that we have. Ah, I see the two of you are eager to, as ever, to observe my inspectorial genius at work. The long-term fans are often the most ardent. That is very true with the 14 community. And I count myself a member. As a matter of fact, we were just about to continue our investigation into the alchemist we know to have been traveling with Master Pupu's comrade. Brandihild is such a good guy. I mean, that's to say I'm merely following in the inspector's wake. You needn't be so modest, my dear Inspector Brandihild. 'Tis wrong of me to comport myself as an equal to you in all in any respect, for I am but a copy and a flawed one at that. You are flawed in the most basic physical way. You are perfect in every other sense. And even this, you know what? Your beauty is a blocky beauty. Stuff and nonsense. Clone or not, self-deprecation is unbecoming in a Manderville. It's unusual, but I wouldn't mind more of it. Exactly, the things you could do are amazing. Right, she's Cockney. Oh, I don't know about that. Brandihild is kind of like a butter. He's like a little bit of a Butters, isn't he? From South Park. It was you who saved Kakushu from certain doom, was it not? While not quite as alacritous as mine, your rapid reasoning is nevertheless quite effective. And I love that he hasn't really grown jealous of Hildibrand hasn't really grown jealous of Brandihild. Or at least he hasn't, he probably feels a little bit that way, but he hasn't let it show. He hasn't taken it out on Brandihild, at least. 'Tis kind of you to accept me, rough edges and all. I only hope my meager contributions are of some small assistance. I went with a red magey glamour for today. Too modest by half. I'd say his mental faculties far surpass those of the original. Enough chin-wagging amongst ourselves. Let us spread out and learn what the locals know of this adventurous apothecary. Happy little poo-poo. I will avoid commenting as much as possible on the friggin' stalker. Fishmonger. Any apothecaries in Rotterdam? Yes. But no one peddling goods in the heart of the Empire. While the situation's improved, the Radiant Host still has to provide security for cargo shipments. A lone merchant is impossible, yeah. So they've got to have some kind of support network, whoever they are. Unfortunately, is the apothecary just the person we saw cloning themselves, or is it someone else? I'm not quite sure on that yet. Many merchants who travel abroad, but not in Garlemald. Yeah. It's still... I don't know. Well, no, we know that this is Garlemald's certainly doing better, but it's still not in great shape. I wonder if the crime is from other Garleans or just from beasts, like what the actual danger is. Yes, I know the one of whom you speak. A fellow fisherman told me of a friend of his, an apothecary, who set off for war-torn Garlemald to sell his medicines. A reckless fool, if you ask me. I have no interest in the affairs of such men, but you do, I take it. So head to Usakeik and hear the tale for yourself. A red-haired lad gathering shellfish. Alright, so we'll check in here with the gang. Oi, Inspector Brandihild, a blocky man of quality. A blocky man of quality. Is she dreaming, like fantasizing about him? You know what? She might be. I'm not 100%... I'm not 100% sure if Nashu has a romantic interest in Hildibrand or not. I don't know. It really could go either way. I might be missing some super obvious stuff, but it could really just be like a platonic one. I want to like be in your bask in your light, in your radiance as a human being. Like it could be that sort of love, but I don't think she'd probably say no to it either. Hildibrand is strikes me as a little bit ace, but I could be wrong. He just doesn't seem that sexual or romantic of a character. Yeah, but again, I could be wrong. Let me know what you think. Ah, Kukushu, I hope your questioning has borne fresher fruit than mine. Oh, a good friend of the alchemist in question, you say? Let us gather the troops and pay a visit to this felicitous fisherman. Say what you will about him, he's got some alliterative abilities. Some poetic persuasion. Was these... I'm sorry, I keep... it bothers me more than it should. Was the Stalker always in every single shot the way he is in the Endwalker ones, or am I just noticing it now and it wasn't before? The story of my red-haired apothecary friend. You must mean Baharasov. Well, I was near enough to calling it a day anyway, so here's what I can tell you. Baharasov comes from a very poor family, and growing up never had much in the way of money or possessions. I suppose those experiences are what led to his lifelong obsession with gaining wealth. Baharasov must be the guy that we saw cloning himself, right? After trying his hand at a succession of trades, he decided alchemy would earn him the most gil, but his stock never sold as well as he hoped. So when he heard about the internal strife in Garlemald, he saw it as a golden opportunity. Surely, the middle of a war was the best place to sell medicines. It's a smart move. I mean, it's a very smart move. It's high risk, very high reward. More like the best place for near-death experiences. He soon gave up on his Garlemald venture, but while one would have expected him to return lamenting his ill fortune, Baharasov was practically euphoric when I saw him again. A God's-given blessing he'd found in the snowfields had given him much cause to celebrate. So he found, he was there in Garlemald plying his trade, trying to, make money in the midst of the chaos of war, and failed at that, but found a poo-poo craft. He said he learned how to create gold. I must admit I laughed at first, but then he showed me a gleaming mountain of the stuff. Enough to proclaim himself a merchant prince. He even changed his name to Vanudi, a word which brings to mind the bounty of the divine. I wonder why Vanudi. We'll be right back. A name I have heard. He's the rising star in the markets, is he not? The one snapping up commercial ventures left and right. Yes, Vanudi has certainly made his ambitions known here in Thavnair, especially when he attempted to purchase the entire port of Yedlamad. The dockmasters declined to sell, of course, but when it comes to buying historic landmarks, a bottomless purse can open surprising doors. Last I heard, he'd converted the Gilded Araya into a private abode and has been filling it with every rare treasure his gold can secure. He pays out particularly large sums for artworks depicting the goddess Asura. This is another thing. I didn't know how she was coming up in this, but I'd heard from the 6.55 patch that Asura was a thing. I had forgotten about it. I think a part of me was probably expecting her to be in the MSQ, but I had just forgotten about her. So this is how Asura is going to be worked into this. Okay. I remember him being a fervent worshiper of hers, even as a child. Is she going to be like a... I know that Asura is an actual Hindu goddess, I believe. I believe, at least. But I also mainly know her as the Final Fantasy IV healing fight. Very healing intensive fight where you had to... She just kept healing. She had basically infinite heals. You had to cast Wall on her in Final Fantasy IV. And she was the gateway fight to get to Leviathan. She was like the queen of the queen of the land of summons, the land of the summon monsters. Yeah, and you had to. The big thing was you couldn't beat her. Couldn't beat her without. Could you? Is there any cheese way to beat her without Wall? But you basically had to have Wall. So you used Wall on her, and it reflected all her healing back to you. And even then, she was a tough fight. So I wonder how she's going to be here. Yeah, I've heard much of Minusia and Murga lore in Razathan, yet I recall no mention of this Asura. Well, that's hardly surprising. As a deity of war, she is not well loved by the common folk. I wonder why she was made into a deity of healing and why she was given a healing-based kit in 4 if she's like a war goddess. I mean, she had multiple faces in 4. Like, she had multiple faces that would spin around, and like one would be the angry damage face, another would be the healing face, and stuff like that. Parasov is different, though. He sees life as a constant battle to amass wealth, and it is to Asura whom he prays for victory. It is... Wait, is that right? Just like the grammar of it. It is to Asura whom he prays for victory. I think it's supposed to be it's Asura to whom he prays for victory. But let me know, again, any grammar folks, let me know on that. That's how I thought it would be. And damn me if she didn't listen. That once poor boy became merchant royalty, and a man far too rich and important now to afford more than a fleeting moment for simple fishermen, even those who were once dear friends. If you'll excuse me, I really must leave it at that. These clams won't sell themselves, you know. You've been stupendously helpful, my good sir. I also like the contrast of the red hair and the blue garb. How about that, eh? Our sought-after apothecary and the upstart merchant prince were one and the same. Might we assume the blessing he stumbled upon in Garlemald was a certain alien craft and its occupant? Yeah, what does the occupant think of all this? Did we see the occupant in the last cutscene? Where, Banudi was doing all this stuff? Sorry to intrude, but aren't you the hero who helped us when folk were turning into beasts? Yes. Well, some nasty lurking creature just showed up outside of town. One of our guards went to confront it, but I don't like her odds against that thing. Is this, Lugai? This might be Lugai. Very Lugai. As Lugai merged back onto Balnob, Barnabit. Oh, I don't remember what the 14 version was called. I thought you destroyed that monster. This is Phase 2 Lugai. Or Phase 3 Lugai, the merged... No, Phase 2 Lugai, the merged version. I think? I don't remember. I have the situation under control, citizens. This individual bears a strong resemblance to a known fugitive, so I thought it prudent to investigate. Regrettably, he has proven less than forthcoming with answers. How many times must we teach you the same lesson, shiny skull man? Supri guy. Lesson, what are you on about? Oh, he's gonna say like what I'm someone different. Ah, cease this babbling and get out of my way. Lord Von Hoody's orders are to cause trouble at the port, and I'm running behind schedule. Oh, he's not disguising himself. Okay. Von Hoody, the merchant who tried to buy Yedlamad, so he put you up to this. Karses, how did you manage to deduce our dastardly plan? you just blurted it out. When these quests are on, they're written really well. I like. Does he have a little stick figure like puppet legs and puppet arms coming out of his head? Silence! No one who learns of our scheme can be suffered to live. Prepare to be squashed, meddlesome worms. Did Luke Guy just get, like, a drop kick to the eyeball? I think he did. I didn't see the army of Luke Guys coming. Oh, of course, there are clones. I should expect clones at everything. Okay. Was the Drakter a quadruplet? No. Drakter's being infinitely cloned. And you got Hildibrand's mom here, ready to dish out whatever level of power Godbert is on. The wife is on the same or higher level of power. It just depends on what's funniest to the writers at the time. Mother? Vexatious vermin, this will soften you up. This was the little bomb, like the mine that was in the quest log thing, right? Tag teaming with, I don't remember her name at all. Tag teaming with the mom. A lucky hit. And they're on good terms, I guess. The mother and Godbert. The Warrior of Light fail. Yeah, I don't think you're safe. I was gonna say it's not contact with the ground that sets it off. Even Nashu's piecing out. One last pitch. That's right, baseball. Baseball is, I forgot how big baseball is in Japan. My favorite sport. Go Mets. This is just a straight up sports anime now. This is great. Unlimited heavy hitter special. Yep, this is... I don't know actually what the main baseball anime is. This probably is riffing on something there. But that was my fastball! I don't know if there's a super famous baseball anime. I'm sure there is. This is probably a reference to whatever that is. I've come to expect Father's sudden appearances, but what brings you here, Mother? A proposition from that merchant Von Hoody, as a matter of fact. I'm accompanying your dad as a manager from Manderville and Manderville, and we were just on our way to the bloke's mansion. I've already refused Master Von Hoody once before when he tried to buy out our commercial empire. This time, however, the deal concerns offloading a quantity of gold at wholesale prices. 'Tis quite an attractive offer, considering fine jewelry is our stock in trade, and we thought to at least listen to his proposal. It's got to be, I mean, it's got to cause inflation or something, but not with one person has it, I guess. I guess it depends on how they deploy it. But if he were to if he would purposefully command his lackeys to disturb the peace of a public port. We can't do business with a thug like that. Absolutely not. Where did all those lackeys come from in the first place? Is there a hulking, weaponized brute manufactory around here somewhere? There is. How did they not end up blocky? I forgot why Brandihild ended up blocky. Oh, that was the poo-poo ship. I thought that was... Okay, yeah. I thought that was Von Hootie coming in to clean up the mess. I don't remember this guy's voice. Not at all. I did it just the other day, but... As I suspected, my ship's vaporization beam is configured to expunge only replicated matter. So you can copy inorganic materials as well. How interesting. Once the matter duplication facility has analyzed an object's molecular structure, it can generate any number of copies. Yet it cannot create matter from nothing. A requisite supply of ether must be on hand to facilitate the process. Cool, you sure do know a lot, Inspector Hildibrand, even alien starships. Oh, 'tis no great achievement. As I've mentioned, the gaps in my knowledge were patched from data with the starship's own archives, which included the vessel's full schematics and functions. Assuming I understand this correctly, is it possible Von Hootie is using the repaired alien craft to replicate piles and piles of gold? You got it. Got that reporter's instinct. We share the same suspicion, Master Delian. To my knowledge, no other method exists that can reliably produce precious metals. Of course, 'tis the obvious conclusion. Like, there's something so admirable in this. I keep coming back to this. He feels... I see this... I'm interpreting the stuttering at the start, the of course, to be him feeling embarrassed, abashed that he didn't come up with this at first. But he doesn't take it out on Brandihild. That's really tough to do in real life. That's tough to do. For me, it is. Some people may be better people than I, but if I feel ashamed of something, I won't take it out on someone, but I'll feel annoyed. I'll feel vexed, and it'll be hard to not be a little passive aggressive sometimes. Depends on the circumstance, I know. That being the case, one might further assume that Von Hootie is either threatening or deceiving Master Poo-Poo's comrade in order to gain access to the vessel's superior technology. We haven't seen the other Poo-Poo yet, have we? Our course of action is clear. We march right up to this gold spawner's front door and demand the release of his extraterrestrial hostage. What was that look from the Poo-Poo? Was it worry? Was it concern that, like, do they know this other comrade and think they might have gotten suckered in and be working voluntarily? I wonder. We must confront this malicious merchant at once. If your heart's set on confrontation, then you may as well come with us. Von Hootie's invitation included a private airship flight to his new estate. Is this the historical site that they were talking about earlier? I will still need to formally reject his deal, and maybe Julian sounds like a pirate, I don't know. Reject his deal anyways, and his pilot will be waiting. Sure. Do you sound like a pirate? Good to see you, Kakushu. And good to see you're still keeping company with our darling boy. That blocky lad of yours, a new friend of yours, smooth off the edges and he'd be the spitting image of our Hildy. Julian is pretty great. What do you have to say, Nashu? Oh, smashing it. Yeah, okay, let's go. Gentleman at heart, Godbert is ready to lead you to Von Hootie's waiting pilot. Shall we be on our way? We're to meet Von Hoodie's pilot atop the rise just south of Kajaya's footsteps. Oh, a little accomplishment I want to show off. I got my Amaro mount. My final job hit 80 the other day. My final job hit 80 the other day. The Astrologian was my last one. So, yeah. I feel pretty good about that. Working on, yeah, Astrologian and Monk now. Anyway, private airship pilot. Lord Godbert, Lady Julian. And entourage? Pray excuse our presumptuousness. My son and his companions insisted they come along, desperate as they were to meet with the illustrious Master Von Hoodie. Do you recognize me? I see. One moment, if you please. He is checking in with his employer. Lord Von Hoodie should be glad to welcome you all to his home. Pray step aboard, and I shall take you there directly. What are all those things on the side? Look like very Thavnarian architecture, but then there's that, or is that like a dock of missiles or something? Like a missile bay? Welcome, honored guests, to my humble abode. I trust the view is to your liking. Since you traveled all the way from distant Ul'dah, a pleasant backdrop to our talks was the least I could provide. What an unexpected boon this is! I had been debating when to extend you a personal invitation, but now here you are, like a wish come true. Save your act for the magistrates, Von Hoodie. We know the secret of your ill-gotten gold. You will cease the exploitation of alien technology and release your hostage into the care of Master Poo-Poo at once. I don't think it's a hostage. Maybe it is, maybe it is. This is, if they're going to do subtle villains, and they do all the time in 14, the Hildibrand quest may not be the place for that. Not always, at least. Sometimes they do it, but usually not all the time. Usually not all the time. I'm still a little bit sick in my head. Unraveled all my schemes, have you? Good, I needn't waste my breath on tedious explanations then. This is Master Poo-Poo, I presume. I do have his fellow alien here with me, yes? As for exploiting their technology, I freely admit to duplicating a quite frankly obscene amount of gold, but that was merely the beginning. Imagine making copy after copy of the deadliest weapons in existence. Would not the world itself be yours for the taking? Let's get straight to the point. I want you at my side. Dude. My friend, my brosif. This is... You are not an MSQ villain. You do not have the chutzpah, you do not have the background. You don't have the curriculum vitae to seduce me into the dark side. With the vaunted Warrior of Light as the template for my clone army, we could conquer this and every other land in creation. You want to make a lot of kakushu's. That's not a bad idea. I mean, a lot of Lala, a lot of Kakushus would be something, but probably not in his hands. I refuse, categorically and emphatically. A pity, yet I anticipated you would prove an impediment to my ascension. Yes, it seems the time has come to test Lugai's ritual of manifestation. Is this summoning a primal? Is this how we're going to do this? Wait, I'm thinking, is that what those are? Are those, because I'm looking at all the stuff on the walls and all like the little red figurines. Those aren't... I'm thinking, because it reminds me of the Tower of Zot with the... with all the elephants stuck in the walls to pray it away, to pray the Manusia, or the, you know, the Magus sisters into existence. What if those red things are like people they've strung up, like other poo-poos for all I know? No, they wouldn't be poo-poos. Other, I don't know. Are there other Asura worshippers? Because it sounded like he's the only one. I was thinking, are the other people who are going to wish Asura into existence? But I don't know. All was prepared long in advance of your coming. This tower holds not only mundane treasures, but also caches of crystals. As for the requisite congregation of worshippers, well, of course, even if he's the only worshipper of Asura, he has as many of himself as he needs. Did he just stuff them all into these little boxes, though? That's horrifying. That's legitimately horrifying. I had to beclone myself. Who is more devoted to my cause and my goddess than me? Wow. That's a special lack of empathy, because empathy implies, like, this is like an extra layer of lacking empathy. Empathy implies, like, feeling what others feel. There's some difference between empathy and sympathy, but I don't remember what it is. But, like, at least understanding what others feel and kind of respecting that. He doesn't... Even when that other person is himself, he just stuffs them in a box. That's messed up. Divine Asura, take up thy blades and wage war upon mine earthly rival. Yeah. Beautiful place for a trial, though. They're always good about that. I mean, the Stormblood place was great for... What was... No, not the Stormblood. Where was the trial on the water? That was a Stormblood thing, right? Nay, Hildibrand, against a primal we may be more hindrance than help. We dare not remain within its sphere of influence. I'm sure they could fight it, but again, it's like the Roger Rabbit power, where he could only break out of the handcuffs when it was funny. Like, Hildibrand could defeat the primal if the situation were funny enough, but at the moment, he's got to back off because we have a trial. Hildibrand's power level is very meta-dependent. Best of luck, my friend. I must make a gentlemanly withdrawal. Love the poo-poo. Its little scrawled, drawn eyes. Let's see what Asura looks like. Yeah, she's got to be multi-armed, blades in each arm. I wonder if they're gonna... I saw the mask. Yep. The Final Fantasy IV boss music. Giving me flashbacks. God, I had... The Gilded Araya. I had wild amounts of trouble against Asura when I was playing. I mean, I played Final Fantasy IV as a kid. I'm sure I've mentioned that. I played Final Fantasy IV as a kid and just did not understand how games were. This is cool. You can just walk up to her before the fight. I didn't understand. I like ran away from all the fights. So I got a black mask with... sorry, all over the place. I ran away from the fights. I didn't understand how experience worked. I made it as hard as possible on myself unintentionally because I was a kid and I didn't know how it worked. And my brother would help me through a lot of those parts, if I remember correctly. And Yep. I remember having a nightmare of a time with her. So you got a red face that's like an angry Oni face. A black smiling Oni face. Or like demon face, I guess. Alright. Let's see what we got. What are those? Are those mirrors? Yeah, this is a... This is false Manusia, Asura. False, right? Because why is she a false one? I wonder. I know she wasn't popular. I don't know why she's false though. Oh no, she's false the same way that the Maga sisters we fought were false.
And on battle I thrive. Have you the courage and strength to face me?
So I don't know anything about what to expect coming into this. So we'll see.
Will you dodge or will you bleed?
I don't know. What? Oh, the ground looked like the ground in between the lines looked like more AoE. Looked the same color.
You've not time to blink.
Ephemerality. Let me get. Are those going to do AoEs? Yeah. I'm not sure I would have gotten it if I hadn't followed that other player, so all praise to that player who I followed.
Tremble before the might of the Manusia.
Oh, Manusia. I didn't know it was pronounced that way.
Embodiment of carnage.
I?
Rebel on the bloody field of war. The spirit of battle awakens.
That is so cool. What are you doing?
Is the lesson.
Pedestal Purge. Okay.
The weak shall perish.
Oh, so she does whatever. She does a copy of whatever. It's almost like the mirror mechanic from Shiva in Eden.
Gleaming edge.
So I'm gonna get close to her this time. I think she's gonna do the same thing, like coming out from her, maybe. Yeah, I feel good about that. I feel good I got that right.
Unmerciful light shine upon you.
She's gonna hit two. Oh no, that's in front of her. Yeah. I'm getting this. This is maybe one of the first ones I'm actually seeing as it comes out. The first run. Because again, it's the mirror mechanic from Reen Eden.
Behold the sixfold blade.
All right, one. All right, so we go front, back, left, right, in a circle, basically. Yeah, in a circle. Yep. Oh, no. Nope, I misunderstood. I got cocky. I thought I understood that. I got it. I guess I didn't get the specifics of it right. It's a predict one, but I thought it was in a clockwise. Does red mean get in red? I'm going to assume it means get in the opposite.
I will scatter your bones.
Okay. All right.
Show me your steel.
Blade scatter. Oh, let's go this way. Yeah.
Hear the gleaming edge.
All right, so then we're gonna have to go to her next. Yeah.
Show me your steel.
I thought we were gonna go to her next. Oh, wait, she's going over there. Shoot. Did I get it? No, I didn't get it. That's really cool. It flops around. It's not the same. Blade-wise, she's all right. Facing. Where's she gonna warp to next? No, we're okay. We're okay here. We're okay here. Is there a way to tell before she warps where she's gonna warp to? I wonder.
Sharp is the lesson.
All right, so we're gonna, after this, we want to get to the middle so we can prep to go opposite of wherever she ends up. Where is she? There. Out we go. Yep. Bam. I want her to do the cat attack that killed me before. I want to try that again.
Behold the sixfold blade.
Ask and I shall receive. So here... I'm not sure, actually. There, I think here? Yeah, here? Wait, what? How did that hit me? I'm really confused then. I thought I was safe from that. I don't know. I'll have to see that again. I really thought I was safe there.
The face of battle is ever-changing. Joyful is your downfall.
So is this just go to the other... look at the... I love the animation on that. The way the red and blue are boiling up beneath it. Very cool. Very cool fight. I enjoyed this fight immensely. I'm surprised that they didn't have any of the healing wall stuff, because that was really what made the fight iconic from 4. And they're clearly referencing 4. It's not a problem. It's just because it's a great fight on its own. It's just more of a surprising design decision. Good show, Kukushu. 'Twould seem you thoroughly trounced that pesky primal. Thank you, I did. By I mean I died multiple times, but... Hang on. You know what? I'm going to look up a guide real quick. I want to see what they did wrong in that fight. Even as we speak, Mother and Father should be informing the radiant host of that despicable Vanhudi's wrongdoings. But how do you beat it? How do you beat infinite power like that? Infinite replicability? The Divine Asura defeated. Turn the wheel, we flee for now. Hoop has come for that ass. Who is flying the starship without my permission? The treasure is mine and mine alone. Nashu. Hi. You called your vessel, Master Poo-Poo? No, I did not. It is my friend's ship. So the friend is not on Team Vanudi. The friend is hostile. But why? What changed the friend's mind now? Why now? The little belly, it's like a cat. Well, like my cat anyway. I was looking to find my cat. He's... For anyone interested, my cat is behind me. He is sleeping in the closet right there. He's a pretty good boy. At last, the moment of sweet reunion is at hand. I am so relieved to see you safe. Likewise, my friend. I don't know the voices. But why did you open fire on the airship? Didn't that man help you after your crash? He did at first. He pulled me from the wreckage and saw to it that my vessel was repaired. So in return, I replicated whatever trinket he desired and taught him the basics of starship technology. But that resolved to be a terrible error in judgment. Okay, so you were just... He saved you. You were doing him a favor. And his favor was like world-destroying or terribly evil in any case. When I was infected by one of the star's unique pathogens, he took advantage of my weakened state. Not even that. He wasn't even cooperating fully beyond the initial part. Beyond teaching him initially. He seized my ship, flew me out to the jungle, and left me there to die. Slowly, agonizing, I was able to synthesize a cure for my affliction, and then I came back to reclaim my property. The experience has led me to conclude that the dominant sentient life forms here are dull-witted, cruel, and entirely unsuited to peaceful cohabitation. You're not entirely wrong. I mean, you're mostly... You're in this world, at least. In 14's world, you're somewhat wrong, but it's not an unfair worry. I wouldn't mind if the Poo-Poos had some kind of better laws of first contact or the prime directives or something close to it. We must launch a full-scale invasion. It is the only way to guarantee our survival. This is all of a sudden the next expansion, fighting off the alien horde. No, they are not all like that. These ones have been nothing but kind to me. Oh yes, they're all smiles until they laser you in the back. We have to strike first before they show their true colors. This is the thing. Our poo-poo, our friend poo-poo, was sick and had a different experience, so their back was turned for a time. Sad to see brother against brother. I hope you're not about to be destroyed. I guess they are. Or the ship is. The ship's reactor core has been breached. If it explodes, everyone in the vicinity will be atomized, and we're all in the vicinity. Don't heroic sacrifice this. Please don't. Oh no, he's going back into the Mind Palace. The real Mind Palace. Not the Mind, like, bouncy castle that Hildibrand has. Think, damn it, if I'm to stop the explosion, I need to traverse the considerable distance to the starship, but I can conceive of no logical solution. He's emerged from his mind bouncy council. What's your... You gonna launch him? Oh, this is combining it. I've been trying to figure out what Brandihild's rose looked like. It looks like a ring pop. That's what it reminds me of. Inspector Brandihild, you must employ my father's mighty moves to propel me to the vessel. I too have calculated that Lord Godbert's signature techniques are our only... You got to do the suplex. Okay. Our only means of achieving sufficient propulsion, yet there is a flaw in your proposal. I lack the strength to properly perform the throw, and I've no time to teach you the starship's controls. Inspector Hildibrand, it is you who must fling me. Just like his father. Skyward as only a Manderville can. Yeah, this is... I'm... I lost my... I didn't see that coming. I didn't... Okay. How are you gonna... Final Fantasy XIV doesn't let you make changes once you're moving in midair. Given my trajectory and velocity, the correct shift in posture should generate enough lift and processional motion to... Yes, I still can make it. If you say so. He's okay. Boomerhild. Boomerang Brandihild. That's how physics works, right? My god, my physics professor friend de Proustian is going to be so mad. The poo-poo is still in the ship, though, right? Yeah, there you are. Okay. The party balloons as the parachute. I guess for if you're as light as a poopa, that's probably all you need. Assuming poopers are light, they could be dense. They could be like little balls of lead. It's too late. The reactor's going critical. There's only one way to save the day. This is not noble sacrifice music. You're not going to die. He's going to blast off. He's going to... No. I'm not worried about him being able to tolerate the vacuum of space because he's a Hildibrand. Inspector Brandihild! Our brief time together was more than any defective clone could ask for. Be well, my friends. You're not dying, you're just piecing out. But it's going to explode, right? I'm going to be a little bit actually upset if he dies. Not like angry, just... Really? Is this case closed for Inspector Brandihild? I'm so sorry. No way. No chance. Zero chance. Yeah, I'm with Hildibrand here. Nay, my loyal assistant, as it ship off the old gentleman, our dear Brandihild has surely survived to tell the tale. We shall see him again, mark my words. I trust you. I'm trusting you in this case. Brandihild was great. I really like Brandihild. What happened with Vivi, by the way? I forgot. Like with Hildibrand Vivi. I'm trying to think of how other core supporting characters introduced in prior expansions ended up. You rescued me, even though I tried to incinerate you with high-intensity plasma blasts. Even at the cost of one of your own. If only I could make amends and earn your forgiveness, but alas. There is naught to forgive. As with his blocky constitution, Inspector Brandihild will be just fine, I assure you. As a friend of Master Poo-Poo, you are a friend of ours, and what are a few minor plasma burns among friends, eh? Especially among the Hildibrand crew. I mean, they have what in Final Fantasy IV eventually was known as the frying pan of love. Like, that's how they show affection with suplexes, with real acts of physical violence, but not actual, like, cartoon love violence, not actual abuse. That's my headcanon anyway. That, like, I think the suplex and the frying pan are basically the same as giving, like, a noogie to your little brother. I think it's that's the equivalent here. Our home planet, it was lost to the telephone you call the... It was lost to the phenomenon you call the final days. We survived only because we were away exploring the cosmos at the time. Our explorations, which had heretofore served no purpose but curiosity, shifted to a search for safe haven. We visited countless stars, but all had succumbed to the same insidious ruin as our own. Growing desperate, we decided to settle on any suitable refuge we could find, whether it was populated or not. If the native beings were hospitable, we would live peacefully alongside them. If not, we were prepared to claim a new home by force. So it was that I arrived at your miraculous planet. Lulled by the apparent absence of metaphysical chaos, I blundered into a mundane war zone, where I was promptly shot out of the sky. That's right, it was Garlemald, of course. That clears that up. The rest you already know. Having fallen behind during our search, I hurried here when my communications received no answer. That was when I met you, Inspector Hildibrand. Those touched by the despair of the final days were reduced to beasts. Given our savage willingness to invade your star, it would seem that, in a sense, we fell prey to that despair after all. Fortunately, my encounter with you generous people has brought me to my senses, an outcome for which I am profoundly grateful. it's such, I can't get over the pencil drawing eye effect. It's really cool. That said, there is nowhere else for us to go. Would it be too much to ask for us to live here on your star? I mean, I think you should meet the Loprits. I think you'd get along great. Well, of course you must stay. Like fellow extraterrestrials who happen to be great at synthesizing ways to live. And I suspect you'll be wishing to repair your damaged vessel. Oh, is this the see you next time? Mummy! Yeah. Yeah, this Team Hildibrand blasting off again. Oi, Inspector, not again, wait for me! Oh, ho, ho, never a dull moment around our Hildibrand. At least we needn't worry if the ship crashes, not with an impervious Mandervillian on board. Ah, funny you should mention that. Upon reviewing the Manderville family tree, it was made clear that a lord without heirs of his own passed the name to an adopted child several generations ago. A lord without heirs in the Manderville tree passed his name to an adopted child. So are you saying that Hildibrand could be adopted? There's no way. I mean, they look exactly alike. I don't buy this. I mean, it's a cartoon, of course. They, like, not just a weeb game. This is a cartoon, slapstick Saturday morning level cartoon. Anything, any logic goes. So I could believe it. Are you saying your son are not direct descendants of Godbrand, the alien progenitor of the Manderville line? How do you explain your unnatural sturdiness? When it comes to building strength and perfecting gentlemanly technique, 'tis not one's lineage which matters, but rather the unbending still stuffy nose. Unbending conviction within one's heart. Though Godbrand's bloodline be broken, House Manderville shall live on through us. I don't believe that. There's no way it's broken. If the begoggled boy... Oh, right, pirate. If the begoggled boy can't swallow that explanation, I've heard right. I've also heard talk of some unseen power driven by feelings and emotions. Could be that ye and Hildy have tapped into that cosmic essence. They're using the power of Akasha, or I don't remember the actual name, what the name used in Ultima Thule was, but that. Oh, if that's the case, you must be positively swimming in it, my dear. That's not an insult. Why is she getting ragey? Everything appears to be under control here, so let us return to the city, shall we? I guess is she interpreting that as like you're not a dainty, pretty thing? Like it's basically she's interpreting it as like, what do you mean by rugged? Like that sort of thing. Once more do I find myself hurtling at superlative speeds towards an unknown destination. Another day, another thrilling case for Hildibrand, Agent of Inquiry, Inspector Extraordinaire. There's worse places for a spot of tea. No, there's really not, actually. No, the tea would be flying behind you. But again, you have the power of slapstick on your side. That was a fun little quest. That was a fun little side quest. Still not a fan of them hiding. It's such a unique style of humor that I really think it was a mistake to hide the to incentivize the relic weapons behind these, but I'm not mad. It's more like a design choice I'm not sure I agree with. I'm fine with it from my end because I like these quests. Thanks to an enlightening conversation with Master Poo-Poo on the way back, I believe I have the answers required to proceed with our weaponsmithing project. I trust the endeavor yet holds your interest. Pray inform Master Geralt of your willingness to assist, and my hammer and I shall make all haste to the High Crucible. And with that, I bid you good day, sir. Thank ye for looking out for our beloved son. I'm sure him and the blocky lad'll be back for more cases afore ye know it. So where are the poo-poos going to be? Are they just going to hang around Thavnair? You've gone above and beyond for us, Kukushu. I'd like you to have the one replicated starship. The mount! I forgot about the mount. Doesn't have the duplication facility or other technology on board, but it will carry you through the skies. Use this key to call it whenever you wish. As for the two of us, we've decided to get to know our new home better by embarking on a journey of exploration. Like, maybe we'll see them the way that you could see Omega and Alpha. And so this is where we must say our farewells. Thanks for everything. We are fortunate indeed to have met you. They're great. They're great. They're great. It seems Poo-Poo wasn't planning an invasion after all. He even tried to stop his friend from launching an attack. I'm calling an end to this investigation, Kukushu. Your unfailing support during this entire ordeal has been most appreciated. Thanks to you, I was able to observe the inner workings of Sharlayan, and even travel to the surface of the moon in search of the truth. And when my own conspiracies threatened to blind me, you were there, to open my eyes to the true shape of things. This world yet harbors its share of the strange and the inexplicable, not the least of which is the source of Hildibrand's impossible physiology. If not an alien, then mayhap he's the product of a hyper-advanced civilization from the distant past, the descendant of some gruesome biological experiment? I mean, if I could give you a trip to Elpis, you would enjoy it, but I don't think that's open to people who aren't me. Someone needs to plumb the depths of these unexplained phenomena, and I am the very man for the job. It's not a secret, Elpis, though, right? Like, we can... A gentleman to walk with me. It's not a secret, right? Like, we can tell him about Elpis if we wanted to. Right, the credits. Alien blood never flowed in their veins, their source of strength an enigma remains. A dynamic folk, their clothing bespoke, a gentleman family, the good house Manderville. True Inspector is born from the heart. Is that a horse sin eater? Lolly la 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 dee da da. There's so much happening. I forgot the friggin' fatal frame Hildibrand shot. Hala? Lida? No, not Hala. They're probably not Hala. There's the Koblin. Hildibrand will return. Hildibrand will definitely return. I don't know that he'll return in Dawn Trail. It's sometime. I know that they've had every other, like, they've had expansions off from Hildibrand, and I wouldn't be surprised if they took that, unless they said unless they've said otherwise. Is Stalker McGee is training to be a better stalker. I wish they would let this... Okay. I wish they dropped this storyline. It's just... Even for the Hildibrand stuff, it's uncomfortable. I know it's just a joke, take a joke and all, but no, you're not going to clone yourself, are you? Hildibrand wouldn't let you. Or Brandihild wouldn't let you. That's that's not the camouflage, but again, slapstick logic. That is good camouflage and slapstick logic. He doesn't look blocky here. Oh no, he does. Okay. Brandihild? Does the stalker... Why is the stalker terrified by Hildibrand? I don't actually remember. Why was he looking afraid? Because he'd seen Brandihild before. I don't know. Anyway. Before we move on to the relic weapon, let me take a look at the rewards we just got. So I just got my Amaro. I feel bad getting rid of it, but I can add to favorites and add to favorites. So UFO. While appearing to be identical to Poo-Poo's starship, this replica lacks certain functionalities, such as matter duplication facility, which in light of recent events is probably for the best, yeah. It is also unable to shrink you to a size to fit in the cockpit, meaning you do not so much ride as you are dangled around in its tractor beam. Let's see this. This is brilliant. And you've even got the Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Is it Close Encounters of the Third Kind, or is it what is this pose for? I mean, this is a famous pose, but is it from Fire? What was the movie that had fire in the name of it that was like an alien movie? This image is locked in my brain of someone being lifted up like prone like that. I don't know. Anyway. Let's take a look at the music. A gentleman to walk with me. Here we go. So this is the ending credits music. Okay. Oh, now I'm sad. I was trying to remember what that picture was above the wall. Now I remember. That's the Sorrows of Warlit picture. Okay. Let's do the, let's check out the final weapon upgrade. See what it looks like for Red Mage. Resonating with perfection. Geralt is itching to get on with perfecting the Manderville weapons. So little torso coverage. I'm okay with that. I hear Godbert's finally figured out how to perfect his alien weaponry. About bleeding time, eh? I think that might be some awful Australian version I didn't intend. We shall inform his lordship that you are eager to begin. So, Geralt's on board now. Oh, Julian's here. At long last, Kukushu, the end to our arduous yet most rewarding weaponsmithing journey is finally in sight. And a bloody expensive journey it's been. That's why I'm not here as a dutiful wife or doting mother, but as a concerned senior partner of Manderville and Manderville. Our company's footed the bill for all sorts of extravagant materials and expert assistance, not to mention the rent we're paying for these high crucible facilities. Even if this is the final stage of the process, that's only one Manderville out of the house sodden many. For me, probably just the one. I don't tend to redo this sort of thing on other jobs, but maybe in time. Our side business in replica weapons ain't exactly booming neither, so I reckoned I needed to come and gauge the value of continuing this venture with me own two eyes. So let us offer our full cooperation to my business partner as she oversees proceedings. Geralt seems like he's enjoying this. I don't think he's gotten onto his head what Julian will be as a boss, what kind of a boss Julian will be. I feel like she will be a strict boss. Ha! Now that there's a sight. Seems his lordship's lost his cocksure composure. What happened, Godbert? Weren't you just telling me how your ridiculous wealth made you free to craft whatever you pleased? I'd be on my best behavior if I were you, Master Geld. Yeah, Godbert sees the storm coming for him. After all, your considerable remuneration is one of the main expenditures Lady Julian will be scrutinizing. Let us move on to the topic of armament augmentation, shall we? Unsurprisingly, the key to perfected weaponry lies in the application of the perfect oil, a substance known as Ultra Manderville. This superlative lubricant will serve to maximize... Just keep going. Will serve to maximize ethereal conductivity. I'm not 12 years old. I am 40. Again with the creepy oils. And as one might have predicted, this Ultra Manderville's main ingredient is derived from yet another incredibly rare meteoric material, cosmic crystallite 'tis called. When it came to the method for extracting said ingredient from the meteorite, however, my ancestor's relic was conspicuously devoid of instruction. Thus did I consult with Master Poo-Poo. Thanks to his encyclopedic knowledge of alien civilizations, he was able to furnish me with the requisite technique. A rather unorthodox process, and one I cannot complete alone. All right, so I got my currency for you. What foppish nonsense are you meaning to foist upon us this time? Oh, nothing too terribly taxing, I assure you. All will be explained. Ere we can begin, we must tend to the tedious chore of procuring crafting materials. Kukushu, if you would, pray acquire the crystallite through our usual tombstone-hungry vendor. What do they do with the tombstones? 3 goodly chunks, yep. These advanced Mandervillian techniques will not only enhance your armament's properties, but greatly alter its appearance. Oh, right, because yeah, it's just going to look different. That's the case with each of the tiers, I think. See you in a sec. The hammering continues, Manderville weapons. Apologies for any sniffling. I'm trying to keep it to a minimum, but I do still have a stuffy nose. Let's have a look at them shiny rocks. Yeah, we got 3 cosmic crystallite here. What are these? This extremely rare form of crystal-based achondrite is infused with ether from its journey through the cosmos. Theoretically, its energies can be extracted in the form of a highly refined liquid essence. Aye, these ought to do the trick. I'll grab his lordship and we can get to work. Thank you for your untiring efforts, Kukushu. These acquisitions are most demanding, I know, but we could not proceed without them. Crystallite of this type is said to have mystical properties, its every mote infused with ether from its journey across the cosmos. We will use Godbrand's technique to harness and condense that cosmic energy, that we may extract a single concentrated drop. This precious liquid is the heart and soul of our Ultra Manderville coating. Well, that's bloody fascinating and all, but would you mind explaining the god's damn technique already? You mean to have us fighting this? What do you mean to have us fighting this time? Meditating? Fighting, meditating? Yeah, like what do we do? Dancing, my good... Of course. Of course. The traditional dance of House Manderville together. Geralt, I... Poor Geralt. In his search for a viable method, Godbrand failed to extract the crystallite's ethereal essence innumerable times. Frustrated beyond measure, he finally contacted a friend on a far-off star to ask for advice. Thus did he learn the theory of compressing the crystallite's stored energies by bombarding it with a specific etheric waveform, much like squeezing a lemon. An inspired Godbrand then returned to work, where he experimented with generating waveforms through physical movement. One particular choreography provided the perfect resonance, and lo, the trademark Manderville undulations were born. And it so happens, this far-off star in question was the homeworld of our own Master Poo-Poo. 'Twas his keen eye that recognized the familiar resonant properties of our gentlemanly dance and allowed us to rediscover the extraction process. That is kind of awesome. The thing that brings you so much joy and symbolizes family and tradition and the love you hold for your line is the thing that draws the most power out of this crystal. Dress it up in fancy words all you want, but I ain't swallowing this ridiculous shite. Think you can extract mineral essence with your daft dancing? Count me out. I've come in a strictly observational role, so no dancing for me neither. If you both so wish, we shall perform the extraction without you. Oh. I'm happy to help. I like this dance. As for you, Kukushu, your role shall be most crucial. I should like you to hold the crystallite and catch the quintessence as it falls. It'd be a mini game? Maybe. It could be like a Dance Dance Revolution minigame. Or not. Probably not. The ancient weaponsmithing technique, behold. It's a friggin' game. You see, load of chocobo shite. This dance lacks sufficient intensity. Oh, for the love of... Fine. Yeah, they just stumbled into the Hildibrand quest. What the fuck are they? Oh, yeah. Yep. They've gone through the trauma of the final days. They've seen their friends turn into monsters. And now they come upon this. The most horrific thing yet. Oh my god. The music, the slow motion, this is... Okay, this is pretty good. This is pretty good. It's bloody magical. He's had like 7 different accents in like 3 attempts at speaking. The resonance is still not strong enough. Godbert, you need to... Or not Godbert, Geralt, you need to step up. We need your dancing might. Sure. Sure, yes. Oh, that's right, I gotta catch it still. There are moments that this quest is certainly... The Hildibrand stuff in general has made me laugh. There's moments it made me groan. Oftentimes it just makes me smile, and that's... I don't see that as a negative. It just... It's good-natured and silly. This is a solid quest line. I like it. Huzzah! Our combined performance did the trick. Master Geralt and I will take it from here. Let us prepare the vial of Ultra Manderville and proceed with the final augmentations. Aye, you're about to witness the peak of craftsmanship. Now we apply the Ultra Manderville coating. As with the prior stage, the final composition of the oil's ingredients will greatly influence the armament's properties. I shall need you to take a moment and consider well which qualities... Oh, yeah. I I mean, I'll adjust them, sure. I think that, again, I think it... what is this? The main thing I think is that, that I not increase spell speed. I think direct hit rate's probably good. Critical hit rate is good. And determination is good. Maybe it's determination that gets this. I think I'll go with this. As long as spell speed isn't the main one, I think that's it. But I don't know. I also don't care that much. Maybe in some distant future where I am doing extremes or savages regularly, or... But that isn't... Look at that! Oh, and it changes... Okay, this is pretty damn cool. The work is done. The perfected art of dedicated artisans. A Mandervilious rape... A Mandervillous... Like marvelous. Mandervillous rapier. That is pretty sweet. That is very sweet. The beauteous, tangible reward for all our toil and sacrifice. It's a grand sight, all right. Fighting mammoths, drinking weird booze, and dancing weirder jigs is an odd bloody way to forge a weapon, but you can't argue with the end result. Got Mutton Chops McGee in the background. There is, in fact, one other favorable consequence of finishing our project. My family's relic contains what appears to be a locked recording, and if what Master Poopoo tells me is correct, our completed Manderville weaponry should serve as the key to opening it. Shall we give it a try? Okay. Is there a follow? This is a follow-up quest, I guess? Manderville weapons, the saga ends. Excellent. It would seem the relic has responded to your armament. Let us commence the viewing. I mean, this is the wrap-up right here. A final message from Godbert. From Godbrand, I mean. I would pay money, not much money, like $1, but I would pay at least a little bit of money to turn off the like, wow, like sound effects. If you are watching, I don't remember what voice I gave. If you're watching this recording, I must assume you have successfully brought the Manderville weaponry to its completed state. Allow me then to share some of the philosophy that went into the weaponry's creation. As I explained in my previous story, the many worlds upon which we Mandervillians resided were laid to waste by an inexplicable catastrophe. The final days, one must imagine. Peace reigns upon this star for now, but we can never know when or what manner of chaos might threaten our tranquil lives. Thus did I endeavor to forge armaments with the power to repel any threat, no matter how dire. Could have used this pre-6.0 and MSQ ending. However, in the wrong hands, such powerful weapons may exacerbate the very problems they were created to solve. Sadly, my long search for worthy wielders, those possessed of both martial excellence and unyielding moral fortitude, has failed. I am left with no choice but to destroy my triumphant works. That explains how you lost the originals, eh? In the hopes that a deserving hero will one day emerge, I have decided to leave the secrets of their manufacture to my heirs. By necessity, the process must be rendered cryptic, lest these potent armaments be too readily obtained. The fact that you are watching this proves you had the wisdom to pierce my elaborate obfuscations, and the discipline to retrace the grueling steps of my smithing saga. I have faith in your judgment. Do what is just and entrust the Manderville weaponry to those who champion the ideals of peace. how every dramatic address should be ended. States of the Union, eulogies, just end them all with that. How gratifying to know that my motives were aligned with those of my ancestor. It was my own experience of the final days which moved me to recreate the Manderville weapons and put them in heroic hands such as yours. And 'tis more gratifying still that we should succeed in the task which Godbert himself set for his descendants. I thank you all for your valuable contributions. I'll admit, it was a bit of a shock to hear we was crafting alien designs, but we hired the right smith for the job. You know the job isn't over yet, yes? There are still many weapon variants we have left to reforge. I know, don't get your bloody small clothes in a twist. If you did, it would turn this rated X very quickly. There's not much else he has. I'll stick around until that last blow is hammered. Is X rating still a thing? NC-17, I guess, in the US. For the extraction of the Ultra Manderville essence, I must ask you call upon the assistance of the High Crucible Alchemists. It matters not who performs the dance, as long as they do so with gentlemanly perfection and aplomb. It's clear to me now that the Manderville weapons are more than just a pet project. They're an investment in the future of our world. You have me permission to keep them on the books as the official Manderville and Manderville enterprise. Oh, that's a relief. It would be difficult to cover these expenses with my weekly entertainment budget. That's high, but I mean, you're at a casino, you print money. You own a casino. With that settled, we can continue as before. Our most excellent House Manderville artisan shall handle requests to perfect other weapons in your possession. Meanwhile, our resident alchemist will assist with adjusting weapon properties, assuming you supply the requisite crystallite, of course. All in all, this has been a most satisfying experience. My thanks again, and I look forward to our next mutually beneficial encounter. I like Julian in this too. Julian was kind of lower key in this than she'd been in the past. Relatively to speaking to how Manderville quests usually go. She wasn't blasting her kid with a thing. Anyway. 3 power creams great. Comes great Mandervility, of course. So let's see this. Mandervillous rapier? Mandervillous, right? Like Marvelous, Mandervillous? How does this compare? Oh, it's the... I mean, I have my placeholder weapon. Okay. That is a sound-looking weapon. That is a... I like this a great deal. Oh, it's like the back thing is even like a what do you call it? Like a planet with a like a ringed planet. Very neat. Okay, that's gonna be it for me for now. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like, subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll... Oh, hello, friend. And I'll see you next time, because we have a few options of what to do next. Again, we have back in Old Charlie, and I think there's the Tataru quest line available, and then there's the two island things. What are they called? The two, not island things, the two variant dungeons. I'm probably going to do one of the variant dungeons next, just for a change from the more narrative ones, or something a bit more combat-y. Yeah, see you then. Bye-bye.